Welcome back to another edition of Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm your host, Troy Stegner, and I am going to show you another comic book review preview. But first, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help with our metrics. And while you're there, hit the bell icon and you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. First one out of the box, Carnage. Black, white, and blood. Okay, I read these earlier. This is, of course, the variant cover for Carnage. Black, white, and blood number 1. Looks like an in-hook, variant cover. Really good. Okay, this, if you're into the symbiotes, you're going to love this. This is, symbiotes is the big thing now. It's almost like the life model decoys they used to do, clones. That used to be the big thing. Now the big thing is everything's symbiotes. Symbiote, 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 symbiote. If you didn't know, Null, the god who created the symbiotes, he created it basically to be his minions. They didn't like what was going on, so they are from planet Klyntar. Basically, they found out what Klyntar means in symbiote language is cage or trap or something like that. And that's how they caught Null. They basically, on the planet Klyntar, he's basically at the center of the planet, and the whole planet is nothing but symbiotes surrounding him, keeping him locked in. But he found a way out, and he came back to, he's trying to reclaim all his symbiotes, all the codexes. That was a while back, but now they're doing the whole King in Black series, which is Null is the King in Black. He came to Earth and put a big symbiote dome over the whole Earth, and he is going around trying to collect all of them back. Carnage is one of his, I guess one of his favorites, but you don't see Null in this one, Carnage Black, White, and Blood. It focuses mostly on Carnage and a little bit on Shriek. I mean, it starts right out with him fighting Cloak and Dagger. Cloak obviously has Shriek somewhere stuck in his, whatever dimensions are inside of him. Carnage wants to get her back. Him and Shriek are a thing, and he even tells him, you think you're saving her from my violence, you don't understand. She's more violent than me, and she enjoys it. So he goes, somehow he gets in there and he kind of gets Shriek released. It's kind of short before they start into this really weird choose your own adventure type thing with Carnage. But we'll talk about that in just a second. So he gets in there. You got a bunch of people coming together to fight him. You can even see Cap's shield in the background there. So they've amassed like Spider-Man, Iron Fist, Captain America, Cloak, Dagger, a bunch of others are going to try to take Carnage out. It doesn't end well for him, as usually it doesn't. But the last panel we see of that story is all the Carnage-based symbiote type villains going after the good guys. And then it jumps into this weird, like a throwback story to the old Carnage in the Old West, but doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't actually say it's Old West, but it gives you that feeling, the gunslinger Marshall looking for this serial killer, mass murderer, and it turns out it's somebody that Carnage has possessed, and the guy even says, I thought I was hunting him, but it turns out Carnage was actually hunting me because they preferred being in his body, I guess, and riding off all carnaged out, and the horse. So I don't, that story kind of threw me off. I'm not sure where it's going, because Carnage supposedly was offspring of Venom, which is more recent times, not in the Old West. So if this is set in the Old West, not sure what they're trying to do with the timeline. Not a bad story, just kind of threw me off a little bit. Then it starts into this choose your own adventure type thing. It's got you're supposed to get a D6, and it has some choices. You make some choices in there. You start out with X number of willpower and different things you do because this person has the Carnage. They're trying to do like they did with Agent Venom and have somebody be able to control the Carnage symbiote. The Carnage symbiote's way whacked out there. So every time you try to control the symbiote, you lose 1 willpower, and if you get down to 0 willpower, of course, the symbiote takes over. And you know, I went through it a couple times. You can play different choices, different roles on your D6. You either end up going bad and killing just about everybody, or I guess if you roll everything right, you can actually end up a hero. You control the symbiote and become a hero. Kind of an odd choice of something to put in there. I'm not sure where they're going with the black, white, and blood. I mean, we got maybe 10 pages of the action for that one. Then there's about another 10 or so pages with the Old West story. And then it's basically broken into thirds. And you can play through that Choose Your Own Adventure a couple of times. I'm kind of holding out judgment on this one. The symbiotes, I kind of liked the symbiotes when they first came out. I think they're being overdone lately. You know, the whole King in Black thing, it's going line wide. These symbiotes, you know how it is in comics, nobody ever dies. So like I said, I am reserving judgment on this one until the second one comes out. I don't hate it. I kind of like the Carnage and Shriek chemistry they got going together, you know, kind of a Bonnie and Clyde type thing. So we will see just where they go from this. So it's a number 1. I mean, if you're a collector, you might want to jump on it just because of the number 1 collectability. And if you can, that variant in Hercule cover is just, it's pretty. It's a pretty cover. And we will see where they go from there. Carnage with Shriek. Carnage Black, White, Blood, number 1. That's your review. I want to thank all you guys for watching. Please subscribe, it does help. And until the next video, later nerds.
Get nerdy with me. Tell me what game that you get on. Is it card or read? What kind of class do you play, girl? In an RPG?